Today on this episode of Golden Son Beekeeper, we get to see how we can clean up and make things a little nicer out here. We have a mat that we're going to put down in front of those 3 hives over there to help keep the weeds down in front. This weekend we extracted some honey, so whenever I do that, I bring out the tools and the bowls and I let them clean up all the honey off of those. Also, the extractor I laid on some cardboard out here, and we'll be taking that back in the house as well. But first, bless you, Mr. Golden Son Beekeeper is going to use the loppers, and finally we're going to get these branches around the beehives cleaned up. And while he's cutting those, yesterday I was out when I was putting these bowls up here, and just wanted to peek inside the hive, so I popped the top off of hive number 1, and they are very compared to the rest of our hives, very aggressive. They come out fast and they start hitting you right away. I got stung on the leg one time yesterday, not that big a deal, but the other hives I can pop the top off and move some frames around and they don't seem to bother with me at all. We did the frames that we extracted, we ended up putting them back on top of 4 and 5, the ones with the straps on them, 4 boxes tall. We decided that we would go ahead and put those on there, and since they are the most active honey producers this year, we're going to go ahead and keep a top box on those, and maybe we can get another round out of them. The third box, each of the hives right now has the main brood box, a second brood box, and a store of honey, which we are not collecting from the third box at all. So only those hives that have 4 boxes are we collecting any honey from. You done? Okay, so let's get that mat out and drag it over in front of hives 4, 5, and 6. This mat is a rubber mat that came from an old conveyor belt. One of the local factories at one point changed their conveyor belts, and somebody decided to keep the mat. They cut them into 12-foot lengths or so, and we were lucky enough to get one. Actually, we got several of them. Most of them are laying inside the horse barn, but we decided that it would be a really nice platform for the front of the hives. It would keep the weeds down, and we would be able to walk in front of the hives without being bothered by the weeds, and we won't bother the bees as much. Those are the nuke boxes that I brought out yesterday, and let the bees clean the honey out of those as well. Alright, yeah, just pull that one up in front of it. There you go. That ought to help.
There's that one behind it too.
Yeah, we'll put one behind it, but today we'll just use the one. We have some fencing that we're going to put in front of these hives. Eventually there's going to be some sort of fencing around most of it because of the horse that's going to be coming back here. And there we have it. That's one section of fence up. I know it's not enough, but it'll protect this side of the apiary. We have a little bit of fence that we need to string on the other side around here, just to keep the horse from getting too curious around the boxes. And everything's loaded up. The extractor, the boxes, the tools. We're ready to go back and get things cleaned up. Now, is there a special trick on how these are being placed?
These, since we are going to be spinning this to the right, and this is going to be going clockwise, we are having the tops of the frames facing to the right. So they'll be on the outside spinning. And so that means the top of the cells will be angled so the honey actually comes out of the cells easier and hopefully less destructive to the cells.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of Golden Son Beekeeper. Thanks for joining us for this episode of Golden Son Beekeeper. See you later.